The Greens winning Gorton and Denton last night at the by-election in Manchester is actually a good thing. Now let me explain why. The reason why, because Gorton and Denton has been a massive Labour stronghold for many, many years. But with the Greens winning, Labour don't know where to turn. Now hear me out on this one. It was always going to be a tough race for reform, because it's a very strong left-wing area, so it was always going to be tough for reform. But to get the amount of votes that they got, 10,500 here and there, give or take a few, that is a massive achievement for reform in that area, because that's double the amount that they won at the general election in 2024. But it gets better, because now Labour are stuck in the middle and Keir Starmer is going to get it from both sides. Because had the Greens lost and Reform had won, then Starmer would have been rallying around to the Greens and anyone else on the left to let's go and get Farage, let's stop him. It would have been a complete, absolute chaos had Reform won that seat. And he would have joined alliances and gone after Farage. But the Greens won. So now what's Starmer doing? Starmer sat there with his, like a rabbit in headlights. What do I do? Because now he's got to fight the left and the right. Now that is quite a big, big problem when you've got to fight both sides off. It's not really going to happen. They're going to end up like the Conservatives. They're just going to go down and down and down and down. And the next general election, it's going to be the Greens and Reform. That's how it's going to be. And by then, I think Reform's going to have built a bigger voter by then, as in a bigger voter support system. The Greens, I do not think they will do very well for the rest of the country nationally. They're doing well. They will do well in the cities and the bigger towns. But nationally, over a whole scale of things, I don't think they'll do that well, because we've got Labour, who are run by globalists, and we've got the Greens, who are run by Muslims. And so they're going to do well in the areas with high Muslims, high percentage of Muslims, should I say. But Reform, they can get into everywhere. I mean, if they done as well as they did last night, and that is a very, very stronghold left-wing area, and it has been for many years, and no one can disagree with that. If they done that well in that area, they can eventually do well everywhere else around the country. I am still sticking with the Reform. I have never swayed from Reform once I went over to them. And I still stick by it. Labour are crumbling. He's got to fight the left and the right now. And like I said earlier, had the Greens not won and Reform had won, then it could have been completely different. Because that would have strengthened the Labour Party, because they would have rallied the left to fight Reform. But they didn't. So that's not even an issue now. So yeah, I still stick by it. It was a good thing that Greens won last night in Gorton and Denton, because now it gives a pathway now to the next general election, which whenever that will be. But I'll be watching the fall of Keir Starmer right now, because this is going to be big, and the party are going to be really, really pissed with him.